The forecast was -40. Most people would stay home huddled by the fire or under blankets, but for some, that number is an invitation, a rare chance to step into a world few ever see. It calls to those curious about a world transformed by cold, a silence so deep you can almost hear the earth turn. The landscape becomes something otherworldly, every branch and blade of grass encased in crystal, every sound muffled by a thick blanket of snow. I'm one of those people. Ice fishing in such cold isn't about proving anything. It's about curiosity. It's about stepping outside the ordinary, into a place where the rules of daily life are rewritten by the elements. What does a lake look like under 4 feet of ice? What does true silence sound like? The questions pull you forward, urging you to explore, to witness the world in its rawest form. Preparing for this trip is a ritual. Every piece of gear checked with care, because at -40, mistakes matter. You double-check your boots, your gloves, your auger, knowing that forgetting even one thing could mean the difference between comfort and misery. You lay out your tools, knowing each one stands between you and the elements, the rods, the bait, the shelter. They're not just equipment, but lifelines in a place where nature is both beautiful and unforgiving. Even the smallest comforts, a thermos of hot coffee, a hand warmer tucked into your glove, become precious. Each detail is a reminder that survival here is intentional, not accidental. This isn't just fishing, it's a pilgrimage to winter's heart. Every step onto the ice is a step away from the familiar, and toward something elemental and pure. The goal isn't just to catch a fish, but to experience the extreme, to sit in the cold and listen to the silence. Out here, time slows down, and you become aware of every breath, every heartbeat, every whisper of wind across the ice. It's about finding comfort where there is none, and seeing what the cold has to say. The cold strips away distractions, leaving only you, the ice, and the quiet wisdom of winter. The cold was calling, and I decided to answer. In that frozen silence, I found not just challenge, but a kind of peace that only winter can offer. Dressing for -40 is a science. You don't just grab a coat, you build layers. Start with merino wool to wick away sweat, because moisture is your enemy. Add fleece for insulation, trapping precious warmth. Top it off with a heavy, insulated shell, your armor against the wind. Extremities need special care: liner socks, thick wool socks, boots rated for the cold, liner gloves and heavy mittens. A thick beanie, face mask and neck gaiter protect your head and face. By the end you're padded, slow-moving, but ready. Every layer is deliberate, every piece essential. You become a self-contained unit, prepared for a world where the air itself is a hazard. Out there, warmth is survival, and survival is the first victory. The truck groaned to life, reluctant in the cold. The drive north was a transition, houses thinning, streetlights vanishing, snowbanks rising. The world outside became a monochrome of white and gray, trees heavy with snow. The heater struggled, my breath freezing on the window. A digital sign flashed, -38. It felt unreal, like something from a polar expedition. But there was a purity to it, just snow, ice, and cold. I turned onto the lake access road, tires biting into fresh powder. The trees parted, revealing a vast, empty expanse of white, no longer a lake, but another world. The journey was over. The adventure was about to begin. Killing the engine brought instant, profound silence. Opening the door, the cold hit like a physical force, stealing my breath. I pulled my sled from the truck, gear gliding over the snow. Face mask up, goggles on, I stepped out, each step an effort in bulky clothes. The landscape was immense, intimidating, the shoreline shrinking behind me. No landmarks, just a windswept expanse under a pale sun. The only sounds, the squeak of boots, the hiss of the sled. I felt small, a dark figure on a white canvas. Out here nature is indifferent. Survival depends on preparation. I stopped, far from shore, and listened. There was nothing, no birds, no wind, just the ringing silence of a world frozen in time. This was winter's true heart. Picking a spot on the frozen lake is part guesswork, part instinct. You scan the endless white, searching for subtle clues, ripples in the snow, a faint depression, or the memory of a summer shoreline. Each step crunches beneath your boots, echoing in the stillness. The cold bites at your cheeks, but anticipation keeps you moving. I looked for a drop-off, a place where the lake bed suddenly falls away, hoping that's where the lake trout might linger in the shadows. These underwater ledges are like highways for fish, and finding one can mean the difference between an empty bucket and a day to remember. Time to drill. A gas auger, cold and stubborn from the night's chill, finally roared to life after a few pulls. The handle vibrated in my gloved hands, and the engine's growl felt almost out of place in the quiet wilderness. The noise shattered the silence, sending a flock of distant birds into the sky. Smoke hung in the air, swirling in the frigid breeze, a reminder of the machine's power against the ancient ice. I pressed the blade to the ice, leaning in with my weight as it chewed downward, spiraling deeper with each turn. The resistance was immense, the ice unyielding, but determination kept me going. The ice was thick. Foot after foot, I cleared shavings from the growing hole, watching the pile of white crystals mound around my knees. Each layer told a story of winter's grip, of storms and stillness. Finally, a change in sound, a hollow echo, then a sudden surge of dark, icy water rushing up the hole, flooding the surface with a burst of energy. Steam rose instantly, curling into the cold air, as if a magical window had opened in the solid world. The contrast was striking, warmth meeting winter, a secret revealed. I scooped out the slush, clearing away the last obstacles, until a perfect circle of black water stared back at me, silent, mysterious, and inviting. I knelt and peered in, my portal to a hidden, teeming world below. The surface reflected my face, but just beneath, shadows flickered and possibilities danced. The cold above, life below, two worlds, inches apart, separated only by a thin pane of ice and a moment's effort. Now, with the hole ready and the gear in hand, the real fishing could begin, a quiet adventure, waiting just beneath the surface. With the hole drilled, I set up camp, a stool, a tip-up, a minnow for bait. The line dropped 30 feet into darkness, the orange flag set to spring. Now, the wait began. Ice fishing is about patience, stillness, observation, and quiet anticipation. My world shrank to the stool, the sled, and the dark hole. Every sound was magnified. My breath, the gurgle of water, the groan of shifting ice. The lake spoke in creaks and pops, reminding me I sat atop a living, moving sheet. Time stretched, the sun barely climbing, coffee steaming in the cold. I watched the flag, waiting for the slightest twitch. This is the essence of ice fishing: presence, patience, and the comfort of the silent wait. Another hour passed, the cold pressing in, toes numb. My mind wandered, eyes unfocused on the tip-up. Then, a flicker. The orange flag trembled. I blinked, unsure if it was real. The flag shivered again, then snapped upright. Adrenaline surged. The long wait was over. Something was happening 30 feet below. I scrambled to the hole, heart pounding. The spool spun, line peeling into the depths. The silence was gone, replaced by the zinging line and my racing pulse. The moment had arrived. I knelt by the hole, feeling a heavy, steady pull on the line. This wasn't a small fish, it was powerful, deliberate. I let it run, then set the hook. The line went taut. A slow tug-of-war began, gaining line, losing it, hands numb, back aching. The battle felt endless, but I was winning. Finally, the weight was just below the hole. I peered in, expecting a trout or pike. Instead, a shape emerged, a beaver. The hook was in its mouth, its eyes meeting mine. For a moment we stared, two creatures both surprised. The beaver flicked its tail, dove, and I cut the line, letting it go. The encounter was over, but the story was just beginning. Sometimes the lake offers surprises you never imagined. Shock gave way to laughter. Who catches a beaver ice fishing? The absurdity of it broke the icy tension, and soon everyone was swapping stories, their voices echoing across the frozen lake. In that moment, the cold didn't matter. We were united by the unexpected, sharing warmth in the form of laughter and disbelief. The beaver was gone, but the silence felt different now, alive, not empty. The stillness of the lake seemed to hum with hidden energy, as if every snowflake and gust of wind carried a secret. I realized that winter's quiet isn't emptiness, but a different kind of life, waiting just beneath the surface. I'd lost my hook, but gained a story no one would believe. My friends would tease me for weeks, but I didn't mind. Sometimes, the best memories come from the mishaps, the moments that don't go as planned. The lake was teeming with life, even in the deep cold. Fish darted beneath the ice, and I imagined all the creatures, moving unseen, thriving in their own way. Winter, I realized, doesn't stop life. It just changes how it's lived. I packed up, no longer interested in fishing, just grateful for the experience. The day hadn't gone as I had expected, but it had given me something better, a sense of connection to the wild and to the people around me. I watched the wind carve patterns in the snow, the sun painting the sky pink and orange. The beauty of winter revealed itself in small, quiet moments, and I felt lucky to witness it. The cold was still there, but it felt less threatening, just part of this world. I breathed in the crisp air, feeling more alive than I had in a long time. As I walked back, I felt gratitude and humility. The lake had reminded me that nature always has surprises, and that every day outdoors is a gift. I came seeking adventure, and found a lesson in resilience and surprise. The challenges of winter weren't obstacles. They were invitations to see the world differently, to adapt and appreciate. Nature is full of life, even in the harshest places. Tracks in the snow, the flutter of wings, the quiet persistence of animals. All reminders that life endures, no matter the season. I went looking for fish, but found a story, and a new respect for winter. I left the lake changed, carrying with me a deeper appreciation for the cold, the wild, and the unexpected gifts of the season.